I'm Bob Haas, and I'm the president of Uphams Corner Main Street. And I want to thank the city for its investment in our business district and all the business districts of the Main Street program, because that's really what is going to be our future. And I want to thank all of the residents and the businesses for their investment in what is making our district better. I want to just especially point out that there are some women here who went and planted flowers in the granite planters along Columbia Road from the neighborhood. And that's the kind of extra investment that we like to see. So I'm going to turn it over to the mayor, and he is going to do his piece.
Thank you very much, Bob. I want to thank Bob and the entire board of Uphams Corner Main Streets for what they've done. I've known Bob. I met Bob, first time I met him, I think it was around 1988. We were involved, maybe before that, in a ward committee, Ward 13 Democratic Committee. And we lived in the same area, same neighborhood. I like to call it the same neighborhood. And I had a chance to watch his activism back then, and then I got a chance to watch him be somebody who truly cares about the community. And I want to thank Bob for his years and years and years of service, and being the chair of the board is important. I also want, I'm not going to talk too long, but I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about Uphams Corner. I want to thank, I know we're celebrating both Bode Geneva and Uphams Corner, first Uphams Corner. I want to thank all the residents from Uphams Corner and the businesses from Uphams Corner that are here. This area is a special area to John Barrows and to myself and to a lot of other people. As I was driving here, I realized we're building a new library, as you know, in Uphams Corner, which is going to be out to my right. But years ago, the old library was actually in the dental office down here on the left. It was downstairs there, and then it moved a couple times, and now it's at the Bird Street Community Center, and it really doesn't have a proper home. And we're gonna have a new library coming to the neighborhood. We have RFRs out there for some of the land that we have here, working to try and come up with a system on how do you do economic development without gentrification. And we're doing kind of the first test case, if you will, here in Uphams Corner. We want to be able to build and grow, but we want to be able to, the people that live here, be able to stay here and really be here. And if this works, it'll be the first time in the country. It'll be the first time in the country where we've seen economic development and not have gentrification. So we're going to be working on that. But speaking of that, or non-gentrification, we're here today to present somebody's car. That's not good. Somebody's car. We're here to present. Everyone's okay. We're here to present two awards. Thank God one of them was not the truck. The Business of the Year award is Aruju Laundromat right here. Neighborhood business, local business, family-owned laundromat, provides service to the community, volunteers and supports the community events. As we talked about before, we have businesses, and it's important that those businesses get back to the community, and we have them here. Always one of the first businesses to donate to the tree lighting and the Arts Festival, and one of the best tree lighting, Christmas tree lights that we have on the trolleys here, right here, when we do the Dorset tree lighting. It's the most well-attended in front of the Strand, and I want to thank you for that. So I'm going to ask the Ruju family to come on up, or whoever's coming up, to accept. I want to ask John Barrows and Steve Gilmore. Steve Gilman, I mean. I want Steve Gilman here. Where's Steve? All right. Come on over, Steve. And Natalia, anyone else you want? And Bob Haas. Oh, hold on.
Oh, wait.
Thank you. We're going to try and pump in from Fugu, Cape Verde, the boss of the family.
Yeah. More about taking a picture.
Congratulations. And now, as I often say, Main Streets are an important aspect that came to the city about 25 years ago. They were created from the community. The executive director of those programs is paid some money, but everybody else is volunteers. The board of volunteers, the volunteers of volunteers, everyone here. What really makes a Main Street strong is making sure that we have a strong base of volunteers. And this year, the Volunteer of the Year is David Knock Daniel, dedicated members of the Uphams Corner Street Board. He volunteers throughout the year, and he's always eager to help fellow board members in making sure that Uphams Corner is the best. So get in here. And before I get to the next round of awards, which is Beau Geneva, I want to just say our Main Streets power our economy. They power our neighborhood. They're strong to make our community strong. And we're asking everyone, please, when you're shopping, think about the local business district. Try and do some buying in your neighborhoods, because that's what keeps our businesses strong and keeps our storefronts full. And many of these businesses that we talk about, they're family-owned businesses. They're invested. People put their whole life into them. Oftentimes, they're immigrant-owned as well. So you have people come from other countries that make their investment in our neighborhood. So we need to support them. So I wanted to thank you for that. And every year, National Main Streets has a conference all over the country. They're in different places. This year, they're going to be in Dallas. And in 2021, they chose to come to the city of Boston. So we're going to host the United States Main Street program here in the city of Boston. So we're going to be doing some good displays. And then that's a warm-up, because then we get the NAACP convention a couple months later. So we get them coming too. So we want to make sure that we get it right. The Business of the Year Award in the Beau Geneva Main Street. And we also have a peace walk tomorrow night in Beau Geneva. If you're around 6 o'clock, meet at St. Peter's. We'd love to have you there if you're in the neighborhood. Empire Fashion is the Business of the Year for Beau Geneva Main Street. It's a women's retail store owned by Lucy Polino, who celebrates all types of beauty, brings energy and a sense of community. Same-day delivery and creative marketing has earned Empire Fashion a national following, and it's amazing to see what's gone on in the Beau Geneva area in the last 15 years with the businesses. So I'd like to have Empire come on up here. Yeah, you're accepted. And the Volunteer of the Year Award goes to a woman who's standing right next to me, president of Meeting House Hill Civic Association, board member of Beau Geneva Main Streets, helping bring in the business community and the civic communities together. And when I was a state representative, I often went to Meeting House Hill Civic Association. It was on the fringe of my district. And it's great to see that the community and the business districts coming together, because it really is so important. It's vital that they don't work in silos, they work together. So congratulations, Shirley. Thank you. Dakota, come on. Hold on, Shirley wants to say something.
Shirley, you always have something to say. First of all, I just want to say thank you to our mayor for partnering with our community, with our Beau Geneva area. All the good works that you see happening in the city is on behalf of our mayor. Can we get a round of applause for our mayor? And thank all my friends and family for coming out today. It's my birthday today. I'm 16 all over again. And I just wanted to say thank you. I'm so blessed to have my wonderful grandchildren here with me. My family is here. They just landed, just got back in town with enough time to say, hey, we appreciate you, Mom, and they share me with you all constantly. Thank you for everybody being here, and I want to say it's so important to get involved. I'm with Meeting House Hill Civic, the president there. I'm on Bowling Geneva Main Street. I'm on CAB, trying to bring back some goodness back into our community and safety and health. I'm involved with a whole lot of things. So if you see me walk in the neighborhood, which I often am, just stop by and say hi. And you can catch me in my yard. I'm always there.
Thank you, Shirley. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You look wonderful, 16. I just turned 16 in April. So I want to thank you for that. All right, we're going to thank you. Just make sure... We're done with this part of the show. We just want to make sure that as you're going home or if you're going somewhere, great supermarket around the corner, great services here, great businesses. If you have some clothes you need to wash, just come right in here, throw them in here, go shopping over here. Great new restaurants up on Dudley that we just opened, and there's a whole bunch of great things happening in this neighborhood. And then when you're done here, go over to Bowling Geneva. Some great businesses there as well, not too far away, right up the street a little bit to celebrate up there. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
All right, hello everybody. Hello, hello, hello. And I want to welcome everybody here to the Greater Grove Hall. And we happen to be in the premises of One United Bank. And I have the privilege and opportunity to especially welcome and introduce Mayor Walsh. Can I have a round of applause for Mayor Walsh? So let me explain why this is, I'm feel privileged to do this. Mayor, when you got elected, I started my job roughly a month from the same time you did. And if you remember, in your first inaugural address, when you gave your State of the City address, you talked about having a Main Street makeover, and you named two places, Greater Grove Hall and Bowling Geneva. And so for people who are here, we can see the largest restore project in the city. These sidewalks that are out front here, about $2 million of sidewalk improvements. I pointed to that building at the time. That was about $2 million of renovation over there. We work with ISD. We got the Freedom House has a new building, the new crosswalk in front of Mother Caroline Academy. And so, and again, we have new trees, new crosswalks, and all that kind of stuff as part of the Main Street makeover. So we're not finished, but I just want to let you and all of the people who work for the city let you know how much we appreciate the partnership and working with you and how we've revitalized this community. So I would like everyone to thank the mayor and all his people of his administration for what he's done here.
Thank you, Ed. Let me just, first of all, I want to thank the board of the Greater Grove Hall Main Streets. Thank you to all the board members that are here. I want to thank for your incredible work, to all the volunteers here. Thank you to the businesses that are present here. Thank you. To Ed, I want to give a special thanks to Ed. Ed's absolutely right. I was in office probably a few months when we took a walk through Grove Hall, and the sidewalks were in bad shape. If you remember, the streets were in bad shape. They were all dug up, and I was watching cars come through, and as we started talking about, you know, how do you not give to a community, and something that was really important for us, because we want to make sure our community is beautiful. We want the people in the neighborhood who are beautiful to understand that we respect them. And that's what we did here. And Greater Grove Hall has been an amazing partner here. The one thing I will ask the residents that are here today, make sure when you walk around, when you see the new businesses, a lot of new businesses popping up, make sure if they're not here to get involved. They need to be involved in Main Streets because it makes a huge difference. And also we want you to shop the local businesses and make sure that the businesses get supported. 5 years ago when I came through first, it was a brand new hat shop up the corner. It was an amazing place. And they had some great stuff in there. And about 2 years later, they went out of business. They went out of business because people were ordering online or going to Lids or wherever they were going to. And here in this neighborhood, there was an amazing store. So we want to make sure that we don't see that happen again, because the businesses that are here, we know this, most of you that are here and in these neighborhoods, it's your life saving going into these businesses. You put everything you have to make them work, and our job as a city is to support you, and our job as a Main Street is to support you. So we want to just let you know we do care about you. We want to thank you. The Business of the Year award, ironically, goes here to One United Bank, the largest African American bank. The largest African American bank in the United States. And 2 years from now, this time next year, we will be wrapping up the NAACP convention that's coming to the city of Boston. So one of the places that we're gonna take people that are here from the convention is to Grove Hall. We're gonna let them see the community, see the neighborhoods, because I was down in Detroit last week with John Barrows and a bunch of us, and all the convention goers that were coming to Boston say, we want to see the city. We don't just want to see the convention area. We want to actually go into the city. And we started talking about, with Tanisha Sullivan and other folks and Michael Curry, we want to bring people into the neighborhoods. We want people to see the history and feel the history of the city and feel the history of this neighborhood. And One United Bank is very much part of that history. So I want to thank you for that. This bank, before I give you this, let me say a couple nice things about you. This bank hosts fundraisers and recognizes local business leaders, something that's really important. I remember back when I first got elected as a state rep in '97, the strength of a community was we didn't have a lot of local banks in our neighborhoods at the time, if you remember back then, '97. And one of the things, if you get a bank in your neighborhood, that shows you neighborhoods moving forward. And this neighborhood has more than one bank. But this is the bank we're celebrating today, One United. Big supporter of Main Street's annual event, supports African American founded tech businesses, a leader in the freeze frame presentations, which focus on economic advancement in the African American community. And I want to thank the bank and the staff here, all the folks behind the glass. Thank you for what you do every day. The people that keep us safe here, thank you for that. The people that open the door in the morning, thank you. And for the refreshments and food, we want to thank you as well. So we're going to ask Ed to come on up here, John, Steve. If any board members want to come on up, we'll get everyone in this picture. I also want to thank Sheila Dillon, Chief of Housing, is here with us today. Shub Benford is the Emergency Management, Chief Emergency Management. John Barrows, Chief Economic Development. Chief Hooley from EMS, and Superintendent Nora Bastian from the Boston Police Department, who is leading efforts and actually literally changing the way we do community policing in the city of Boston. So I want to thank you all. The foundation behind a strong Main Streets, the leader obviously is important, but what really makes the wheels go round on Main Streets is the volunteers, the people that do go above and beyond, that are part of a community, that are vital to any Main Streets moving forward. And the volunteer of the year is Angela Williams Mitchell. Angela, come on up here. Angela helps local businesses access the resources that Boston Main Streets offer. Works in translation and advocates for Spanish-speaking business as well, and really making sure that we have, and I didn't say this when I talked about small businesses, the majority of our small businesses in the city of Boston are created and were built by the sweat of immigrants. So it's important for us not to forget the immigrant community. Angel's not here, so let's give her a round of applause. We're going to give it to Ed. Thanks, Ed. We'll get another picture. Come on, Ed.
What she does is important, is because we try to be as inclusive as possible. And probably about 40% of the businesses in the area are Spanish speaking, or English isn't their first language. So having somebody who not only speaks the language, but is willing to sit down, because it also assumes a lot of the services from the city and things that require the use of a computer. So to have somebody sit down with you and walk you step by step online, take you through the whole process. And I always tell everybody, you pay taxes just like everybody else. The services are meant for everybody. And so by making all these services accessible and available helps everybody in the community. And I know that's part of your vision because of all the equity and inclusion work.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ed. We started these tours a couple years ago to kind of bring out people out in the community, and today we're recognizing, obviously, Greater Grove Hall, but we're also recognizing West Roxbury Main Streets. And the importance behind all of this is that we flip around from year to year, and to bring different Main Streets to different neighborhoods, so everyone's not just siloed in their own neighborhood, so we can see what's going on and build collaboration. And I'd like to ask Jacob Robinson to come on up and say a few words. the director of West Roxbury Main Street.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so my name is Jacob Robinson. I'm the executive director of West Roxbury Main Streets, and like Ed, we're doing our best to create a thriving and vibrant Main Street district in West Roxbury. We're fortunate to have our Business of the Year and Volunteer of the Year be a huge part of that for us, and so we're really excited to announce. I don't know, am I jumping ahead, or can I say a few words? I'll let. I'll say just a few words about the cooperative bank because they helped out so incredibly much with our biggest fundraiser of the year, bringing out, I don't know, 25 volunteers to help with the event, our Taste of West Roxbury, which we are so grateful for. And they're a recognized pillar in West Roxbury with staff actively involved in all aspects of our community. So I'll also jump ahead to say just a few words about Elizabeth, who unfortunately couldn't be here today. But she's also was one of our core planners of the Taste of West Roxbury. She's demonstrated an incredible commitment to our efforts. And, just to give you a sense of some of the Main Street type initiatives that Elizabeth has helped lead, she helped put on a Spring Street fashion show, as well as our winter holiday market. She's also a local business owner of Top It Off Accessories. So, again, just congratulations to the Cooperative Bank as well as Elizabeth.
Thank you, Jacob. And Jacob talked a little bit about the Business of the Year, the Cooperative Bank, the community bank that meets the needs of its neighbors, provides high-quality service and products, works with individuals, obviously, and families, and small businesses, and the core, as I said earlier, of having a bank in your community means so much, particularly a bank that's engaged in the neighborhood. It can be a game changer, and there's no question about it. The staff are active community members, volunteering in a whole bunch of different programs, including West Roxbury Main Street's Parkway, YMCA, and other areas. And as I said about this bank here, banks are key. I mean, they're key to our neighborhood. They're key. And I want to give a special shout out to West Roxbury Main Streets because if you haven't been down Center Street in a while, you can really literally see the face of it changing. And the challenges West Roxbury has is the same challenges that other places have. This open storefronts and how do we deal with that? We have businesses that own the business and own the buildings, and they don't necessarily want to upgrade them all the time. And how do we convince them and push them to do that? So this challenge is not just a challenge that happens in Roxbury or Dorchester or Mattapan or High Park. It happens in West Roxbury as well, and having an active Main Street is key. So the Cooperative Bank, come on up here, and congratulations. Come on, John, and everybody. And before I talk about Elizabeth, I just want to take 1 minute to two things to do. Make sure, and I think I already said this, but I want to say it again. Make sure that we support our local businesses. A lot of times we shop online, or we go to a mall, or we go someplace else. We get all our stuff there, and the local businesses really need our support because they thrive by us going in and doing our shopping. So we're asking everyone, not just during Christmas time, but throughout the course of the year, make sure you utilize the different businesses in your neighborhood. Something that's really important. And also, we're proud that the National Main Street Organization has chosen Boston as the 2021 National Convention. So we're going to be able to showcase in our city our Main Street programs. They're going to be, I think Dallas is the next year, the year before us, and then we're going to be the year after. So that's a big win for the city of Boston. More importantly, that's a big win for our Main Street programs to be able to highlight and showcase what they do. And on a lot of different issues, people look to Boston to see what's going on there. So congratulations to all the directors here. And lastly, Volunteer of the Year, Elizabeth Huenscheid. I get it right? Huenscheid, nice. All right. Board member of West Roxbury Main Streets, a local business leader. Fundraisers for the Main Streets, especially through the annual Taste, as Jacob said earlier, Taste of West Roxbury. Passionate and dedicated volunteer who takes the leading roles in many of the streetscape projects. And we were just talking here a minute ago about the streetscape. I mean, it's not just the businesses either. It's about making sure the street looks good, whether it's planting, whether we have new banners coming here, by the way, Grove Hall. The new banners are coming. Whether it's new banners, whether it's making sure, bringing pride into our community. I know right here in Grove Hall, Christmas time, right in the middle of the island down the street, the kids decorate the tree. We have a tree lighting. We get the whole community involved, and there's no difference in West Roxbury. So to Elizabeth, who couldn't be with us today, I want to thank you, congratulate you. Anybody on the Main Street West Roxbury board, come on up here for a photo. I think we're done. Thank you, One United Bank. There's refreshments over here, great cookies. I can vouch for them. John Barnes can vouch for them. We ate a couple. Sandwiches, water, and other things. And thank you very much and enjoyed this beautiful day.
Good afternoon, everybody. Buenas tardes. My name is Marcos Beleche. I'm the Executive Director of the Four Corners Main Streets Program. And I'm relatively new to this role. So I am actually very honored to be hosting and being part of this great occasion. I want to start out by welcoming and thanking Mayor Walsh, as well as the other city officials for joining us today. I also want to thank the neighbors, the stakeholders, the friends, the peers, particularly Greater Ashmont and Fields Corner Main Street programs. Thank you all for being here. I know that there's a number of local businesses, and I appreciate that you've taken the time from your businesses to join us in celebrating today's awardees. Just a quick glance at the business community here in Four Corners will show you that we are a very diverse community with many, many talents and many, many needs. We have 77% of our businesses that are owned by immigrant business people, and 94% that are owned by people of color. And so there is amazing potential that we are slowly but surely connecting and tapping and sort of making sure that people thrive, as well as our neighbors and our neighborhoods. I want to say a couple of things before I hand it over, because I know you came here to cheer on Mayor Walsh and our awardees. But I want to say that two things about our respective awardees. You know, to Sarah, I think that she has been both amazing in her support and her desire to move our organizational development work forward. And to the Snapchat team, it's really amazing, and I'm excited about just the opportunities that we're beginning to explore to connect businesses to businesses. Again, we have the answers to our challenges here. It's a matter of figuring out how to work through them. And I'm very grateful that my board has embraced equity and inclusion as key values. It makes the wheel turn a little slower because it's harder work, but it's important work. And so I thank you all. I think I've said enough, so I'm going to hand it over to our mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Marcos. This Main Street's Four Corners. First, congratulations to all three Main Streets we're recognizing today. We're going to talk about your businesses and your volunteers in a minute. But I want to give a special shout out to Four Corners. When Four Corners was becoming a Main Street district, trying to become Main Street district, I worked with the civic associations, and we worked with Common Square and Four Corners, and I was a state representative, and I sent a letter in support, and the community really stood up and did a lot of amazing things. And one of the first things that the community really worked on was the little park next door, about bringing pride back to the neighborhood. And that was something that, working with a lot of the leaders that are here today, the civic leaders that have been involved in the community for 25 years, I want to thank you for the great work you've done, because without you, we wouldn't have what we have here today. And Four Corners has become one of the Main Streets that's really been a stalwart in this neighborhood, really adding to the community, so thank you for that. I want to thank Marcos and the board. We can clap, we should clap. I want to thank Marcos and the board of Four Corners Main Streets, and all the folks that are associated with Four Corners. And the first business we get a chance to recognize tonight is Business of the Year. It's Snap Chef. the largest culinary staffing, training, and placement company in New England. Works to make sure that the people that graduate here and go through here get connected to food service professionals with opportunities, career opportunities around the world, not just here in Boston, but around the world. Focus on their creativity and the community building and empowering their clients. And I have to say this, 20 years ago, Boston was not known as a foodie city. And today we are. We have food, all kinds of different food, different culture of food, all over the city of Boston. We have it in our neighborhoods, we have it in downtown. With the opening of the casino over in Everett, that's creating more opportunity, more need to have more chefs. And this facility right here on Washington Street in Four Corners is providing great opportunity and great expert training to these next young people that are all going to be future gourmet chefs down the road. And I said, don't forget us when you get famous, when you have a food show. Don't leave us out now. We want to be part of that. But I want to ask Snap Chefs to come on up here, and Marcos and anybody from the board of Four Corners Main Streets, please come on up.
No. I work in marketing for a reason. I don't like being in it.
Thank you.
And the next, as Snap Chef stays here, which is important because they are important in the business community, we have the Volunteer of the Year Award to a member of the Four Corners Main Street's Board of Director. Often first to commit to projects, always wants to contribute and be part of it. Doesn't let bad weather stop her, so I apologize for canceling the last, but I know we canceled, sorry Sarah, we canceled on you. Because of the hot weather. So we say rain and snow in my remarks, so the heat's not part of that. But today we didn't cancel, thank God, because it's beautiful right now. So Sarah, come on up here and receive your award. Recognition. And any Four Corners, other board directors or anything, come on up. And those of you that are just not understanding, if you're new to this neighborhood, for years, Four Corners felt that Carbon Square got all the attention. And that's really when you start the Civic Association and forcing the business community to get active, and it really changed. And we are one big street, but there are distinct different neighborhoods here. So to all the Four Corners people, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, come on up.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. Thanks for coming. And we're really excited to congratulate our Business of the Year and Volunteer of the Year from Fields Corner Main Street. I can tell you about the Business of the Year. All right, so the Business of the Year this year was a tough decision because we have so many amazing businesses, but if you've been down to Fields Corner lately, you might have checked out Cocoa Leaf. Yeah. Okay. And if you were inside just a few minutes ago, you might have had some of their, what was that donut? Mochi donut, yeah, so good. So Cocoa Leaf has been in Fields Corner for a couple years, and this year, if you have been in the Back Bay, you might have noticed that they opened their second location on Newbury Street last month. So they're doing really good stuff in Dorchester and also outside of Dorchester. So come on up.
As Cocoa Leaf's making their way up, I just want to, they are amazing, because I think everyone had fruit, and then you had to go over to the other station and eat some of that. Vietnamese style cafe with a creative menu. The owners are active and supportive of the community to the use of their space. something that's really important. And during their first 3 years in Fields Corner, they have contributed to the community. And I just want to give a shout out to Fields Corner as well, Fields Corner Main Streets, that, you know, again, they were there before I became a state rep, but that was in the heart of my district. And really seeing the transformation of Fields Corner in so many different ways. And when you go on Dorchester Avenue, you see the businesses, whether it's ice cream shops or the Blondie were kind of one of the anchor stores, and really being engaged in the community. I want to thank Fields Corner Main Street for doing some incredible work. Hi-Fi Pizza was across the street and filling that space and doing a lot of great work in the community. Congratulations for what you do. Congratulations. And now the Volunteer of the Year Award. I have known this woman for over 30 years. She is an amazing mother. I coached her son Bobby in Little League many, many years ago. She was right part of the team, anything that we needed for the kids. She was amazing being involved in the Savin Hill Little League at the time. And then she went to work for the city of Boston as a DPW street worker. And I can't tell you, if you ask people around the city of Boston about what's the cleanest stretch of Dorchester, they're going to tell you Dorchester Avenue, because Joanne Sullivan is just amazing. She's been recognized before in different areas because of, she just loves her job and loves doing her job and loves beautifying community, and having an attitude like that's amazing. And I certainly wouldn't think anything less of Joanne. She helps educate the local businesses on what they can do to keep the streets clean, and that means letting businesses know that they have a responsibility to clean in front of their stores, building relations up, because she works hard and she lets them know that she works hard, and if she works hard, they should work hard. Coordinating donations for local youth who need bicycles and other supplies. I know Joanne does a lot of work with different organizations, whether it's the Boys and Girls Club or other organizations in Dorchester. And as I said to you, without looking at my notes, she was an amazing mother, an amazing mother to have her son on my team. And her 2 other sons went through Savin Hill Little League, and Bobby is a great swimmer and all of that. Now they're older now, and she's still giving back to the community. Come on up, Joanne.
Thank you. My name is Jen Carte. I'm the director of Greater Ashmont Main Street, and our business of the year this year has had 5 years as a brick and mortar, but much longer doing her thing and getting skilled at the area of expertise. She's one of our niche clothing boutiques, Tasha Michelle Closet, and Michelle Plummer's here as the owner entrepreneur for this special business. From the outside, it looks maybe just like a clothing store, but it's the specialty of customized customer experience that she provides to all of her clientele that makes it different. If you are going to a specific gala, Michelle writes down which gala you're going to, and no one else going to that gala can buy that dress. She hosts parties and after-hours events for groups of friends to do their shopping together. 2 weeks after the Emmys, she has her sources in New York and LA that can get you copies of J.Lo's gown. And everything she has, she only has in three or four of that item. So you're guaranteed this sort of unique custom experience when you step into her store. In the past little bit, she's expanded into more accessory items. More than anything, hers is the storefront in our district that I get comments and compliments. It turns over constantly. Sometimes it's a bit edgy, but her creativity is always on display and it's always welcoming to the community. Over the last 2 years, Michelle has taken advantage of the small business services programs through Boston Main Streets and updated her signage with a brand new blade sign that has an icon of herself on it, looking fabulous, and gotten website design work and marketing help, and we've also begun the same work with an expansion business that she's partnered in up the street, I Am Fashion, which is a men's boutique. So it was our honor and an obvious choice for us to honor Michelle as our business of, Tasha Michelle Closet as our business of the year.
So Michelle, come on up here, and I want to thank you as well for what you do in the community. And you know, as I talk a little bit about Greater Ashmont Main Streets has really done some amazing things as well. And those of you that might not think about what can a Main Streets do, a little before, as Ashmont Main Street was being created, there was an empty parking lot in front of Ashmont Station. The community got together and really talked about creating something different. That's where the Caruth came out of. And that kind of got the ball rolling, and then Greater Ashmont merged a little later with St. Mark's, and you're starting to see some really amazing things going on in the community. American Provisions and other places down there. So most of the businesses are all homegrown. They're not national chains. They're homegrown companies that come in, start small, and maybe struggle for a few years, and then eventually you see them do well because we support them, and we need to continue to support our small businesses. So congratulations, Michelle. I want to thank Jen as well, who's the director of Greater Ashmont Main Streets, and thank the board of directors at Greater Ashmont for the great work you do, because without strong board members and directors and volunteers, you don't really have a lot. And Greater Ashmont is no stranger to having great volunteers. And the Volunteer of the Year is Mark Redmond, a skilled jazz musician who used his expertise to grow the Dot Jazz series. He has partnered with Greater Ashmont Main Streets to add music to Main Street scene. He takes his passion of music and volunteering and puts it all together. So I want to thank Mark for his incredible dedication and commitment to the neighborhood.
Today I'm accepting this award on Mark's behalf. Mark is an amazing resource for us to be able to capitalize on, and we're so lucky that he chose us as a partner for this. He's a psychotherapist by trade, and he couldn't rearrange his client schedule to make the rescheduled time, but he wanted me to just talk about how this came about. Mark has been doing Mandorla Music Series, mostly events in Somerville and Cambridge, for the last 5 years. He's produced over 100 shows under that label at Third Life Studio and a few other venues in Cambridge, but he used to live in Ashmont, and now he lives right over in East Milton Square, and was sad that such a saturated market as Cambridge, where he was getting like 40 people with national artists, and couldn't we do something locally? Our partnership with with All Saints Church provided a space that was affordable because it's a friends and family rate. And at our first concert with Jason Palmer, we had 65 paying attendees. And then that summer, Jason went on to play Newport Jazz Festival. Since then, we did the series bi-monthly last year, and not a single concert had less than 50 attendees, and we usually had student tickets for free. We got a couple of the schools in with their music programs over the course. And this year, we've expanded and have a fully booked series from September to May for a monthly jazz concert in All Saints with a ticket price of $15 to make real live music accessible to the community. Between the Dot Jazz series and Ashmont Hill Chamber Music, I think the Greater Ashmont area can be really proud of what it's offering up into the music and art scene.
Thank you, Jen. And I just want to also tell, and I just want to, first of all, thank everyone for coming out today, and make sure you shop local. Make sure you, as you're going around and you're on Amazon, or you're going to the mall and you're going to buy something, think about what's in your local shops. Think about what businesses you have in your neighborhood. It'd be so important to make sure we continue, because our local businesses are the bread and butter of our community. They employ people, they donate to the Little Leagues, they donate to the soccer leagues, they give back to the community, they hire our people, so we want you to support people here as well, and making sure you can do that. Also, I want to give a shout out to Captain McLaughlin, C11, and the CSO, C11 Community Service Office here, doing an amazing job, very active in the neighborhood. Thank you, Captain, for being here. I also want to just end by saying, I'm proud to announce that in the National Main Street Organization has chosen Boston as the location of the 2021 National Convention. So they're coming to Boston. They're going to be here. We're going to be showcasing and highlighting our community in something that's really exciting. And then a couple months later, the NAACP is going to be here in Boston with their national convention. So they're excited about coming here as well. So we're going to be bringing people to the community. So we're going to show what's best of Boston to everyone here in the city. Thank you. Have a great night. And thank you for the great food inside.